Okay, let's do a quick mic check. All right, sound seems fine. So that's good. Only issue is I just realized I'm out of coffee. So I am going to go get some coffee before I turn the cameras on because I run on caffeine. Okay, let's see. Yep. All right, mic is working now. Everything is working now. Great. And I got my coffee. All right. Um, Here we go. Okay. So I know I said in a previous stream that I wasn't going to finish this painting on stream, but I started working on it last night and I just want to finish it. And the other painting I started on stream is in the one right here is uh, tacky at the moment because it's drying. So it's not at a good spot to paint on. So yeah, I'm just going to finish this today. So that is the plan. And you know, I think the detail, it's very much details right now, but oh well. I feel like getting into the nitty-gritty details sometimes isn't the best what's it called? Stream content, but I also have to finish some paintings eventually, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I forgot something here. I have too many windows to set up all the time. Jeez. Welcome back, Des. How are you doing today? I was saying that I am just going to be trying to finish up this painting, even though I said previously it's not the best painting to finish on stream because it's all going to be a lot of details and so on, but I need to finish painting sometimes, and I was working on it last night, so I'm just going to keep working on it. I just remembered something unrelated to stream, but I'm going to go do that very, very quick. Okay, just forgot I need to charge my iPad today. Gotta make sure it's all charged up. Alrighty. So yeah, so I'm just gonna try and finish this up today, and um, hopefully it's not too difficult to see on stream. How are you doing today, Des? And everybody else, how are you all doing today? Hope everyone's having a great day. Des says, tired, keep dozing off, but then get a phone call or dogs or something pops up. My daughter bought a car, so she's been messaging me today. That's exciting. Congratulations to her. Hope she's happy with her purchase. Buying a car can be very stressful. That's strange. My feels like my paint set a lot overnight, a lot more than I expected it to. It says you cannot imagine how many ads I get for car dealerships suddenly on every device app in my dreams. LOL. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I hate how they do that. Yeah, it's very, it feels very, um, like violating to our privacy the way that these companies operate. The thing I hate also about the way that they do that is, well, I mean, I hate that they do that, period, but also I hate the fact that they're like bad at it because it's like I'll purchase something, I'll look up something, and then I'll buy it. And after I buy it, I start getting all the ads. And it's like, well, I don't really need this now. You're kind of late to the party, guys. I, you know, I'm, I don't know, Des. It's a difficult thing. I don't know. But, I like the story back in the day that Target did such a good job of like tracking their customers that for some customers they figured out when they were pregnant before the customer knew they were pregnant. So they started sending them maternity advertisements and stuff like that before they even realized they were pregnant. So there's this artist residency program in Austin that I'm thinking about applying for. I'm a little on the fence about it. I'm trying to look into details. We'll see what happens. I may or may not apply. Just kind of depends on different circumstances or different details. But yeah, I'm looking into it. It'd be really cool to be a part of, if it's not a scam. but I don't entirely know how to figure that out, so I'm trying to research it right now. I reached out to a friend of mine about their artist residency that they did, and so far it seems relatively in line with things. Like it's not, shouting scam to me just yet. Okay, the details here are just a little too small, so let's just block in the large chunks and then I'll carve back into it. That says I saw an ad for a studio space and I thought, I wonder how much it would be. And it was 14,000 a month. What the hell? It's like renting an apartment almost or something. But yeah, no, this would be the thing that kind of, well, there's a few things that weird me out about it. One is they charge for the space for the artist residency. And I was under the impression that usually the residencies are kind of, they're not by charge. But it's like $400 or $300 for this for the 6 weeks residency. And then they also take a percentage of your sales, but no more than 30%. Um, so I don't know. But it's only 6 weeks, and 2 out of those 6 weeks are dedicated, are like assigned for moving in and out. And then there's also like a show opening kind of thing. So not a lot of time to like be there. That's the other thing that kind of weirds me out about it. It's like the timeline just seems so quick, right? But like all of those, what's it called? All those, expenses and everything don't bother me necessarily. It's just I'm not sure how actually beneficial it will be versus like just charging me for the space kind of thing. Like, that's the part I don't know about. Some people online were accusing them of just being like connected to the developer and basically just shilling for the developer just to help them get the prices up in that area and not really trying to help the artist or anything. So that kind of weirds me out. But, those are also just messages on Facebook, which could be nothing. I have no idea how to verify this stuff. That says, oh yeah, I could see that happening. Yeah, I could too. But I don't know. It's like this Austin restoration group for the city. Um, so, but just because they call themselves that doesn't mean that they're like, all kinds of groups use like misleading names on purpose to try and, you know, um, misrepresent themselves a lot of times. You see that a lot in politics. Um, so just because that's what they're like claiming or whatever doesn't mean anything to me. Um, let's see. That says, oh, this is about her project. So my sister whipped up a few paintings this week for our project. She is recycling old paintings as backgrounds and working the faces in. I'm sending, oh, you're sending me a few pics? Okay, that's cool. Is she doing the upcycling thing or is she just using old boards for cost reasons? Let's see. That says, I think it's old landscapes or abstract paintings that haven't sold. And she's using them because they're on hand and she won't have to do something fresh. But she bought the professional grade canvases, so not sure why she isn't using them. Okay. Mm, yeah, I don't know. I know sometimes people are, you know, I've had this. It's um, there's less pressure when you use cheap materials versus the expensive, high quality stuff. I would definitely run into that personally. So I think I used to, I don't know that I do that anymore, but I used to do better work on like cheap paper, cheap materials, because without that pressure, made it easier. But I don't think that's a good solution to things. I think learning to like, I don't want to say deal with the pressure, but learning, yeah, in a way, learning to deal with it, I think is a far better solution long run, you know. Maybe she's feeling guilty about not having as much done as me and wanted to get stuff done. Not really sure. Yeah, could be. Have you seen have you seen the paintings already? I guess you're sending me images, so you've seen them. Are you at least happy with them? And if you don't feel comfortable talking about it, just ignore me. You don't have to actually answer. I understand this is a public forum, so, no obligations there. That is too much red. Too much blue. And Thalo is just a pain sometimes. Okay, so you only have an image of one of them, but you saw the rest of them. Okay. Well, I don't mind taking a look at it later. Oh, she changed up the styles a lot from each one? That's interesting. I mean, I feel like, yeah, I don't know, with a if you're having a show like the project that you're doing, I don't know that that's, you know, I don't know that I would go that route. Like if that's her style, but if she's changing styles and doing multiple ones, um, taking in like I'm not one to judge on that because I kind of change up too, but when you're having what's it called? A show like this, I feel like maybe you want to be more consistent, unless she wants to purposefully do multiple styles to kind of increase the variability, I guess. On purpose. Yeah. She has a black and white drawing too. Not sure if it's pen, but it might be. Okay. She has a black and oh, okay, she has black and white drawing. You know, I, I'm not gonna say anything negative about black and white or pen and ink in the sense of like, um, as far as like art goes, but as far as sales go, generally, it's gonna sell for less and be less prestigious. Agree or disagree, it doesn't really matter. That's the way it is. Generally. I don't know all the order of everything because I don't know like where pastels fall into it, but it's definitely as far as like painting goes, it's like oils, acrylics, watercolor, and then everything else. But like I said, I don't know where like pastels fall into those rankings. I'm not like an expert on that entirely, so I don't know. That's a very, very oversimplification, of course. There's a there's an artist, I can't remember his name. Um, for a long time, he did all his artwork with like a blue ballpoint pen. And did these amazing like fully, fully rendered like drawings and stuff with blue like ballpoint pen. Just like big, but that is definitely not the norm. And I think he abandoned that after a couple years too. So yeah, anyways, aside from that, let's see. Today I am planning on going to the art collective, although it's going to be a short session at the art collective today because I forgot I have to go pick up a friend of mine at the airport. So quick hangout at the art collective today. I don't know why I painted this in so dark, but it's definitely way too dark. Hey, Jomsy. Good to see you. Jomsy says, "Ooh, this is coming along great. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. How you been, bud?" For those who don't know, Jomsy is a fantastic streamer. Streams on Twitch. He's a musician. He's a singer. Uh, he does some uh, voice, uh, like readings and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of fun. An all around cool guy. Doing all right. I have another week or so before time to start packing up my life or whatever. Yeah, you're moving across the country, man. Dude, I'd start packing up. Try start early if you're like me, because like I am so slow at packing that whatever time I think I need, I probably need like triple. I'm just so bad at packing. Good news for me is that most of what I own goes into the it goes into the road. It goes on the road anyways. I see what you're saying. Oh, goes into road cases. Jeez, man, my reading goes into road cases. I see what you're saying, like gear and stuff. That's cool. Yeah, that definitely makes it easier. Yeah, I'm horrible at packing. Even packing for like short trips, I'm just horrendous at it. I almost always finish packing the night before my flight. Um, yeah, like I'm just horrendous. And you know, the funny thing is I've moved so many times in my life. You'd think like I've moved so many times, you'd think I'd be better at it by now. But for some reason the packing thing never, yeah, I never got good at it. Chomsky says, "What's up with you, dude? I know we talked about ourselves on the air a lot, but it's been a minute." Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I am now in between jobs at the moment. I just finished Crepopolis season 3, and we're on hiatus and so on. So, um, yeah. So I will be, start the process of looking for work. In the meantime, um, I'm I'm going to, in addition to that, be focused a lot on painting and stuff, surrounding that. Um, yeah, I have a lot of different plans. We'll see, what comes of them, kind of thing. I I'm also looking at possibly what's it called? Applying for this local um what is it called? Sorry. Um Artist residency. I just kind of have to look into it a little more because I'm not sure if it's like sketchy because it's like from the city development council thing or something. I'm not sure if it's something that's actually there to like that will benefit the artists, or if it's just going to be something that like is there to try and uh raise up the um like the quality of the area so that they can sell it for more or something. I don't know. There's some potentially sketchy things about it that I'm not sure about. Also a little weird to me that they charge for it. I guess it's not unheard of. It is a little strange. An artist in residency program, sketchy? Never. Yeah. Well, I don't have any experience with these, so it's all like new to me. I've never I've never even looked into it because I'm always working. Can't exactly take off of work to go do those things. But yeah. So yeah, they charge like $400 for the space for 6 weeks, which, $400 for like studio space for 6 weeks is not a lot, but still. And then you have like your move-in time and your move-out time. Um, and then there's a show, and they take up to 30%, which compared to galleries is still not, you know, not a lot, I guess, compared to galleries 50%. But yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of a residency program charging people to be in it. See, that's the same. Maybe a little fee to apply to be considered, but even that's not really a thing. So I talked to someone who did have a residency uh, in a different, somewhere else in a different program, and his was, I guess, at a hotel, um, which worked out really well for him. Um, and it was free, but he had to buy the cases of wine for the opening. which he said was about $200 or something for all the wine. But like, that, I don't know, that doesn't seem that bad. Yeah, that's one of the things that weirds me out about it. It's like, why are they charging for it? And like I tried to look into it and it looks legit. Like the people, the names behind it or the organizations all have like official sounding names. But I've been paying attention to politics in the last I don't know how many years, and I know that that's a trick that a lot of things, a lot of organizations do. They do, they name themselves something that sounds like it's official, even when they're not official. You know, uh, all kinds of all kinds of trickery like that. So just because it sounds like it's something, official, even if it sounds like it's something from the city or, doesn't mean it is, right? A lot of organizations are real sneaky. So, it's all right. I mean, if I don't do it, I don't. Like I said, I'm gonna try to look into it. I think one of the things I'm gonna try doing is drive by the location and see just how sketchy the neighborhood is, you know, because yeah, we'll see. That might inform me a little bit. Yeah, you have any way to get a hold of a previous participant yourself? I don't think so. Um, I think this is the first time they're doing it um, at, well, at that location. Maybe from other locations. I can try and look. That's a good idea. Because I think what they're doing is they do it at different locations and keep moving because they're developing the area. So they do it in one area and then eventually they lease out all the locations or sell them or whatever, and then they move on to a different location. It's a big thing with casting agencies around where I am. Uh, Big client lists of people who get no work. Oh, I see big client lists, but no work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? So they have the residency and then there's a show. Um, but the thing is like if no one's going to show up for the show, that's not very helpful, right? Says, and frankly, people who would never be able to attract legitimate representation. I see. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Speaking of representation, I really wish I could find that would be amazing if I could find an actual rep. I don't mind reps taking a cut if they actually do their job and get you money. It's totally worth it. It used to be that, what's it called? Galleries would represent artists. They still do, but they don't do the job of representative like they used to. Jumpsuits, yeah, promoters, artists, uh, incubators, and the like really do expect their clients to bring their own audience these days. It's like, what the hell are you getting paid for then? Yeah. Now I've heard of galleries who will take people on. They'll take artists on based off of like the online following they have, right? And it's like, well, if I made my online following and I have a lot of followers and you're banking on my my own following to be to bring in the people, explain to me what it is you're doing and why you deserve to be paid. Like, is it only because you rent the space? That does not seem good enough, you know? Obviously, not all, but I'm just saying there's definitely some of this going around for sure. Certainly there are still people acting in good faith. They're just hard to track down for sure. For sure. But yeah, it's tough to find. Getting gallery representation is not easy, that's for sure. And it comes with all kinds of, downsides nowadays. Not that that means that's, absolutely not the way to go. It does seem like they're very much like it does seem like galleries do a lot less though. Like it used to be that they acted almost as your representation, and now it seems like you know, they act as the people who sell your stuff at that location, and that's about it. which is, that's, I guess, fine. It's just, it's a different thing, right? I don't know that that warrants 50% of sales, if I'm being honest, but other than that, you know, other than that, I guess it's fine. Jomsy says 50% is obscene. Yeah, and you know what's also really that like weirds me out about that too is if you know, first of all, there's like a non-compete clause, like you can't have another gallery represent you in like a certain radius, right? But more than that, so that I guess, that kind of makes sense, right? Like the gallery doesn't want to have another gallery competing, selling your stuff. I get that, right? Um, in a, in the location. But um, if you, let's say, live in, like, okay, I live in Austin. If I have a gallery represent me in Austin, if I sell a painting in my studio, I have to pay the gallery 50% of the sale. Because they, once again, they don't want competition. It also means that you either, as soon as you, if you don't have gallery representation, as soon as you get gallery representation, you either have to uh, increase your prices by 50% or you have to take a 50% cut to your sales. Chomsky says, Jesus Christ, someone needs to remind these assholes who's actually doing all the work. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely an aspect of that. So, if I'm selling my artwork from my website, right, the prices on my website have to be in line with what the gallery is selling. Otherwise, people just buy from your website because it's cheaper. So you either, like I said, you either have to bump up your prices by like 50%, or take a pay cut to your. But if they get you sales, I suppose it's worth it. I did see I did see an interesting reel like or short the other day, which they phrased it as there's a restaurant where all the owners of the restaurant um, make a ton of money. It's the most successful restaurant ever, and all the people who work at the restaurant, who deliver the food, who maintain the restaurant, who own the restaurant, everything. They all make a ton of money, except for the chefs who only get paid pennies per dish, and they get paid by the dish that they put out. The name of that restaurant is Spotify. And it was a commentary on how the pay structure is at Spotify. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting way of you know, presenting it. Yeah, that's definitely a frustrating aspect of, you know, everything lately, where it's like the people making things, the people making the content, the people don't seem to be getting the, you know, the majority of the rewards for it kind of thing. I wish I had an answer for people, but like I obviously I don't. I'm not some, you know, I'm not gonna like fix the art world or anything clearly. So yeah, I don't know. But it does suck. It is frustrating. I know people see like mega stars and they often, or, you know, uh, artists, and they often don't have like a lot of sympathy. But the reality is the majority of people don't fall into that category, but still deserve to make a living. But I also don't believe it should be on the consumer, you know. Consumers are not going to be the ones who solve this problem. Jumpsy says I have a theory that this shift really kicked into gear with the iPhone iPad. They're these magic devices that thoroughly obfuscate all the actual things that make them operate. It's definitely a part of it, like the way that things are like that definitely is a big part of it. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. All, you know, the AI stuff, of course, is all operates in the same manner. You know, it's all in the back end, right? Everything's kind of hidden away, so you don't quite see how it functions and how it steals and so on. People can't value the things that they don't see getting done. Uh, yeah, I think that's part of. You make a good point. I think you're probably right about it for to some degree. I don't think that's the only thing. That's definitely a big part of it. Um, yeah, yeah. I thought recently. I know I've talked about this previously, but recently, it came out that some of the AI companies were like taking YouTubers' information And it was one of those things where I was just like, man, some of these YouTubers have talked about AI before, and they could have hammered the point home a lot more, but it wasn't affecting them at the time. And so they didn't, and now it's affecting them. And now they're like, oh, they're literally stealing from us. And I'm like, yeah. And artists have been shouting that, you know, uh, for like a couple of years at the now. And you guys just were like, you know, it's so interesting. There's some concerns. And that was it. It's like, part of me is, there's a part of me that's like, feels, uh, I don't know, not satisfied, but there's like a, oh, you get what you deserve kind of thing. But at the same time, I don't really want to do that because you want the allies, you want them to be allies in the fight against this stuff. But yeah, it would have been nice had they listened earlier and been a little more helpful earlier. Uh, Chomsky says greed is the biggest issue, but I'm not smart enough for any of this conversation. I mean, yeah, uh, I don't know. Definitely starting to get into categories of like, you know, that's a little outside my, or a lot outside of my comfort zone. Chauncey says there's definitely a degree of uh, Schadenfreude to be enjoyed with the new wave of people realizing they got ripped off. Yeah, there is. But like I said, ultimately, I'd rather have them, uh, you know, shout it out and help than anything. But yeah, illustrators and concept artists and everything have really been on the forefront of this whole thing. Like you said, better to say, hey, I get it, let's do something than sucks, don't it? Yeah, absolutely. It was just frustrating because like one of the YouTubers is a big tech reviewer YouTuber, and he talked about AI on one time, and I left a comment, and I was like, it would be great if you used your gigantic platform to actually, inform people about it more than just, hand wave it away kind of thing. Um, and of course he never, no comment on that. And now it's like, oh, wait a second. All right. But yeah, hopefully there, like that is something I can excuse. It's like I can excuse in the sense of like I can overlook it. It's like, yeah, you were like that, you did those things, okay, whatever. But like, let's work together to, you know, to solve this problem. There are other people I don't care. I don't want them. Um, the corridor crew, they can just go fuck themselves. I hope someone steals all their content. Like, I, yeah. Let's see. Jumpsuit says Corridor railed against people freebooting their shit back in 2010. Sorry, language. Yeah, you keep getting modded, man. Really, they did. Well, they every time they've done an AI thing, it's been like there are some ethical concerns, and then they just ignore them, you know? So yeah, they lost me. I I hope, you know, I like they have a what's it called? They have a subscription like site of their own, and I would laugh and there would, so hard if someone stole all of that and all of those videos and all that content. I would enjoy the hell out of that. I won't do it, but I would enjoy that if someone did because I feel like they kind of deserve it. Um, I haven't watched Corridor pieces since they did that, and they seem to recreate Jake's voice without his consent a couple years back. Even if it was stage, it left a real bad taste in my mouth. Yeah, yeah. Well, then they did that whole thing where they stole Vampire Hunter D, and they used like that anime to with AI to make their own kind of short, and they claimed that like this is the future of animation. I mean, of course that was, what's it called, clickbait stuff. But then when they got pushback on that, they said okay. So then they did another one, and they hired an artist to like design things so that but they still used AI, and the AI is still trained on other people's stuff. Just because they hired one artist to come in and kind of design things doesn't mean that the whole thing isn't still working off of, that. And so I was just like, all right, you guys have a bunch of people, like they have a whole team of effects people. Like you don't need to do this at all. And and the thing is by doing that, they're also promoting it. Um, and yeah, so I was really not a fan of them doing all of that. Man, that's really disappointing. Corridor and Rocket Jump Crew were both huge parts of what made me a filmmaker. Yeah, yeah, sorry to say that. Yeah, it is really disappointing. And when they got feedback, they just doubled down, right? When people, were like, "Hey, this is whatever," like they just doubled down on everything. So I unsubscribed. I don't watch their stuff. I don't know what they've been up to lately. Yeah, I, you know, I don't care. I will not watch their stuff. Uh, yeah, no, for sure. It does suck. It's a shame. I also there's quite a few people, like quite a few YouTubers and stuff like that, that I stopped, you know, um, following or watching because of AI related stuff. There's a painter I really like, and she started using AI a lot. And the thing is, like, there can you uh, as an artist, there is an argument to be made that there are ways theoretically that you could use AI even in its current form, right? In a way where it's like, I'll say it's like it's you know, it like that it would be okay, or that I would feel like isn't a problem or whatever. But she wasn't doing that. She was really pushing the AI, like um almost, like talking it up a lot and talking about how fantastic it is and everything, and kind of in a way promoting it. And it's like, I understand you already have a big platform, you're already well known. This probably will never affect you negatively directly, but like at the same time, you don't have to talk it up so much. You don't have to, make it sound like there are no negatives to it, or that there's no problems with it, and so on. And then she started selling um, AI references and stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, I can't with you anymore. I left a comment on her what's it called, on our Instagram, like I think a year ago, and I still get notifications of likes from that comment to this day. Like people will see it and comment on it and like that comment. But anyways, there are some positives. I've heard some really negative things about AI lately, like it's having some issues in all kinds of ways, which is encouraging. Fingers crossed. And Chomsky says, I was always encouraged by art teachers to go out and research my own reference in the real world wherever possible. So I guess with Google kneecapping their search functions for money, we can't be surprised that folks want to use machine learning tools to get something. Yeah. Not everyone can take a walk with a camera and a notepad like me. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of situations where having, being able to use AI type of thing to generate references would be great. I can see it being super useful. Getting your own references and everything is always the best, but like there are definitely circumstances where having, being able to use a machine learning type of thing to do it could be super beneficial. Um, and if all it did was that, if all that was ever used for was that, I suspect there'd be a lot less people having an issue with it. Uh, Scroll Reaper, hey, just joining. Is it okay to get a breakdown of the AI chat? I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Not sure what you want to break down on, but yeah. We're just talking about it in general and some of the issues and some of the things we've seen recently, some artists, um, some stuff about it, like some different YouTubers. What brought it up was the YouTubers who just found out that what's it called? That they've been scraping their stuff, and so they've been stealing from them. And you know, I was saying that as an artist who has been dealing with this for a year or two now, um, you know, there's a bit of Schadenfreude, but at the same time, you want them to be allies. You don't want to just, you know, take shots at them. Just wondering the key themes discussed. I'm a fellow artist. Cloud Dealer, got it. Hey, Mark, good to see you. How you doing? Mark's over in YouTube chat. Mark says she's looking good. She's looking great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad you like it. Thank you, Scroll Reaper. I appreciate that. So yeah, I have two chats open, so if I'm like bouncing between the two, that's why. I haven't I haven't done the thing to get them both in the same thing yet. One day maybe. Scroll Reaper says I'm just munching on eggs for now, but I'll hop in on some of my thoughts. Yeah, no worries. Enjoy your breakfast, or well, eggs don't have to be breakfast, so enjoy your eggs. But yeah, overall, I generally try to keep the AI talk to a minimum in my I mean, obviously we're talking about it now. I'm not going to just like end the conversation this second, but generally I try to avoid talking too much about AI because A, I get upset. B, there's not usually a lot I can do about it. Um, and I also want to focus on like the positives of things and the art, because a lot of people need a break from it. A lot of times, at least a lot of the people I know online, they're just exhausted with dealing with AI all the time. Jumsy says it's more valuable to talk about stuff that we do like anyways. It really is. I just, I don't mind, like I said, I don't mind talking about it a little and bringing it up. I don't even remember what originally brought it all up, but yeah. And also, there's still a ton of space for artists to be artists. I encourage people to be artists, even if they're not going to do it professionally. I do think there's a ton of value in just being an artist, being artistic, and doing those things for the personal fulfillment of it. Chomsky says, I think it's just simmering in our minds as creative people all the times. Yeah, there are definitely times when it's more and less, but yeah, for sure, it's definitely one of those things. There was a good, like, I don't know, there was like a year or so where it really was there all the time. Now, for me personally, it's not, but it is frustrating when there's something I'm watching unrelated and suddenly it just, you know, suddenly they bring it up and the thing that infuriates me the most is when people who have large platforms, um, but also don't know what they're talking about at all, start chiming in. That's infuriating to me. Hey, Lost Pixel, good to see you. How you doing? But yeah, when people, like I said, when people who don't know what they're talking about start chiming in and they start, giving people the wrong impression about it, oh, I hate that so much. Lost Pixels is getting a word code, but nearly better. Oh, that's good. I mean, good that you're almost past it. On a completely different subject, we've been dealing with a stray cat that's like come into our backyard, causing all kinds of problems at home with our cats and everything. Michelle is trying to find it a home and so on. It's just been a whole thing. We had Michelle's been spearheading most of it, to be fair. And we had animal control come out today to try and read to see if it has a chip or not. So just been all kinds of cat stuff too lately. Lost Pixel says, a what in your backyard? A stray cat? Jomsy says, yo, random cats are appearing in your life too. Yeah, but I have enough cats in my life. That's the problem. Des says, so many people use purple for their names, especially artists. So, well, yeah, I noticed that. Lost Pixel says, purple is my favorite color. Oh, nice. Speaking of cats, we have a visitor right now. Hi, Tristan. Hi, baby boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this little boy. This is Dresden. He's one of our 3 cats, the only boy cat. Yes, he is so fuzzy. If you buy a painting from me, most likely some of his hair is going to be somewhere in the painting. But it will be under varnish, so no worries. I have to be careful. I have to be careful that he doesn't see himself in the what's it called? On the OBS screen, because he is afraid of the orange fuzzy cat that lives in my monitor. Yeah, he's not the brightest, but he is the sweetest. Domsey says all fuzz, no thoughts. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I've seen him try and hunt his shadow before. Yep. Definitely doesn't understand how shadows work, because I've made him hunt my shadows before too. Like, I'll have my hand up and I'll hold it, and like it'll be making a shadow and he'll try and go for it, even though he's seen my hand move. He still thinks the shadow is something else. Tristan, that's just you in the screen. Don't worry. It's okay. All right, all right. Okay, before you freak out here, you can sit on my chair. That was funny. Last night, um, I was playing Elden Ring and I beat a really hard boss uh, in a really hard like setting. Doesn't matter. Anyways, I was happy and I wanted to celebrate. I was like, finally! But I had Dresden sleeping on my lap, so I had to be like quiet and not move too much. Quick stretch. One second, let me just do another quick stretch here. Just, oh. Just need to check something real quick. Oh, excuse me for just a second. I have to pick up a package before the rain destroys it. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it's been raining lately, or today. I wanted to make sure that packages that were left outside didn't get rained on too hard. Because I just bought, I don't know if it's any good, but I just got a sander so that I can actually sand my panels down. So that's exciting. Now I just need to actually buy the panels. But yeah, I'm planning on doing a lot of painting. So I was like, I can't keep sanding these by hand. It's taking taking too long. So we'll see. Oh, now Dresden has to investigate the box. My little boy. Little boy. I'm sorry, I can't play with you right now. Stop trying to make me feel guilty. He is just sitting at my feet right now, like in between my feet. Oh boy, I can't paint with you here. I can't. No, I can't paint with you here. I can't paint with you there. I don't want anything to fall on you. You want to smell my camera? Why are you biting me, Tristan? Hit the belly. Hey, get your tail. He's the only cat that I can like play with my bare hand and like, rub his belly and play with him that way. Only cat I can do that with. Yeah. The, he's just so gentle. Lost Pixel says you don't have a cat, you have a dog in a cat's body. LOL. A little bit, but he's still definitely a cat. Like if I call him, he does not come like a dog. He very much is like, I'm going to ignore you. However, when he wants to play, he's not smart enough for fetch, but I do chase him around the house, and then he'll chase me back, kind of thing. We will do stuff like that, which is very cute. But he's not smart enough for fetch. Uh, Lost Pixel says we had a cat that would fetch. It was 100% a dog in a cat's body. Uh, Not really, but he had a lot of dog like uh time. Yeah. I actually had a cat that was partially raised by dogs once. It was a rescue that had been abandoned. And the person that we got it from, their dog had just had a litter, so the dog adopted the cat at the time because it was just a baby. Uh, so very dog-like. The cat was very, very dog-like. Had a ton of you know characteristics that you would associate with dogs more than cats. I'm I'm a little like I have a mixed feelings about this where I'm like I've thought about like next time we get a kitten, I was like next time we get a kitten, I will what's it called? I will get it used to walking on a leash when it's very young, and I'll get it used to going outside a lot and everything. And like that sounds cool, but at the same time, I'm like, wait a second. That also means I'm going to have to walk the cat all the time. And that does not sound fun. So I'm like, do I do I want to what do I want more? To have a cat that can go out with me everywhere or to have to constantly walk the cat? Or which one do I want more, or less or whatever? It's just, I don't know. Having said that, I do wish that our current cats were a little better about going outside the house. They freak out a little too much. Like not, at a certain point, it's just not good for them. Like just taking you to the vet for a checkup, little man, it's not that big of a deal. He freaks out anyways. But yeah, I do. I've seen those videos of like the guy who like rides a bicycle through New York with a cat on his shoulder, and I'm like, yeah, not that I want to do that, but it would be cool if I could take Dresden out to when I'm going out to pick up something at the like drive through or something. Just a quick trip. I'm just like, yeah, I'd take him with me. Absolutely. I mean, honestly, if I could, I would have him like on a sling uh, hanging out with me while I'm painting. He won't tolerate it. I'm hoping when he gets older and calms down, he will. We actually tried. I did buy like different cat like backpacks or slings or whatever to try. But he would not tolerate it. He just does not like it. I'm trying to give the impression of the like the floor. It's got all this like I don't know. I can't really tell what it is. I guess it's like hay or grass or like dead grass and all this stuff on it. I'm trying to give the impression of kind of what I understand it to be without actually painting all the details in, because that would be a nightmare to do. I'm trying to give the impression of it. I repeat this story a lot, but it really stuck out to me back in the day. Conceptart.org was a thing. I think it's come back, but it went away, came back. I don't know if it's still around or not. For a while, it was like a I don't know, they got hacked, I think, and they had like a bunch of viruses, and I don't know. Anyways, that's all aside. It was back when there was a bunch of concept artists on there sharing their work. And I remember this one concept artist, fantastic painter, shared a painting he did of it was like a boat and a pirate and all this, this fantasy stuff. And it was like it was such a great painting, so detailed. And I remember being like, oh my God, there's just so much stuff. It's so much detail. Like I can't imagine painting all of that and doing all of that. And someone asked him some question about it, and he actually turned like uploaded it again without the he had a canvas layer like filter on top of everything to make it look like it was painted on canvas. And I just remember being shocked at how much of the detail was created just by that canvas effect. Like so much detail was kind of implied because it wasn't really there. As soon as the canvas texture was taken off, it looked so much more, so much more bare. Like there was so much missing. I always remembered that. So obviously, I'm not using, you know, a canvas texture, but um, especially since I'm not painting on canvas at the moment. I guess technically I'm using canvas texture when I paint on canvas, but I mostly don't paint on canvas. Um, but yeah, I always remember that. So there's just so much you can do with by like implying the texture of things or giving the illusion of it. Yeah, I sometimes feel bad for the people who watch me a lot because I know I repeat a lot of the same things. But it's like, yep, sometimes it's just, oh, that's the only story I have for that. Thanks, Lost Pixel. I appreciate it. Hey, Lost Pixel, when you're feeling better later this week, um, I'd say probably, I guess tomorrow as well, but so anytime after today this week, I'd love to connect with you about some of the stuff we've been working on and talk a little bit. We can just type. It doesn't have to be chat, but yeah, it would be great to go over some things. So when you feel up to it, um, you know, we have to hammer. Not like, oh, there's stuff I need you to do. It's not that, to be clear. I just want to follow up on everything. Sorry, I made it sound like it's like, I have stuff for you to do. No, it's just following up on what we've already done. Sure, be easier to just talk, but if I'm feeling up to it tomorrow, I'll message you. Yeah, sounds good. Oh, Chomsy, are you here by any chance? Are you still here by any chance? I was going to ask Chomsy a question if he's still here, uh, because I feel like he might know the answer to it. It is one of those things, though, where it's like, yeah, I could probably just Google this, if I'm being honest. I just never thought to Google it, and I was like, oh, I bet Chomsky will know the answer to this. And fabric is time consuming. Uh, oh, Lost Pixel. No. Lost Pixel says kind of like the fabric of time. LOL. Almost like the timeout I should give you for that one. Jesus. It'd be great at on one of those like dad joke shows or something. I suppose it says, "LOL, I accept the consequences of my action." Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to do anything, and you know it. Yeah, I don't time people out for bad jokes like that. Yeah, I almost never like I'm lucky. I almost never have to ban or anything like that. Occasionally, it happens, but not very often. I did at one point have some trouble with bots coming in, but I don't know if I think it was I changed my settings or something, and that fixed it. It's probably the like only people who can follow can. I think that's why I have it set up that way. But yeah. Alrighty. Hospital says I made people follow me to chat. I had one that came in and was a big long message. Okay. I went into just chatting once because it was like a birthday stream, and oof, we got it. I had to ban a lot of people during that stream because it attracted just a ton of random people, and they were unhinged. Oh, you're saying they were a bot, but you still banned them? Got it. They just sent a paragraph instead of the normal one-line message. I see. Yeah. I mean, the bots are obviously getting better thanks to AI stuff too. Yeah, but aside from bots, there are just some people who they just don't know how to be with other people. You know, they just do not have the social skills required to be in a group of people. Last Pixel says, "Are we talking about me?" LOL. No, no, no. There's all kinds of people. Y- most of those people end up just getting banned. Like I had this is in my Discord, but there was someone in my Discord that uh the weekend that there was the assassination attempt posted a bunch of memes and stuff in my Discord right after, and I was like, about it. And I was like, I deleted them, and I was because I don't have a meme section in my Discord. Maybe I should, but I don't. They just put it in the channel, and I was like, I deleted them, and I just said, hey man, no offense intended, but I'm just keeping politics out of this right now, out of the Discord. I get enough politics outside of it. I don't really want this space for that. So then they posted a video that was very inappropriate to post. Uh, for the record, not something that offends me, but definitely something that you shouldn't post. Um, they were clearly trying to offend me. Just not that's not that type of thing would never offend me. Just whatever. And then they left the Discord because they knew they were going to get banned, which they did. I banned them just in case, so they won't be back. Lost Pixel says most Discords say no politics as the norm when you click in. I honestly don't even remember what my Discord says at this point, but yeah, most do. And like I said, I deleted his posts, but I was nice about it. I didn't give him a timeout or anything. I just was like, hey, I'm just trying to keep politics out of this. Um, but yeah. And like I said, then they left the Discord right after posting that video because they knew they were going to get banned for that. Uh, and so I banned them just in case so that they can't come back, you know. But yeah. So stuff like that, where it's like, man, you just don't know how to behave in, around other people. Because even if you thought it was okay to post, because let's say, like, I honestly don't even remember what my rules are on my Discord at this moment. Even if you thought it was okay to post, I said it wasn't. I I was nice about it. I said, hey, no offense, sorry, like, not a big deal, but just, and that's it. Nope. So, that's what I'm talking about. Like people who just don't know how to interact. And then this particular person, I saw them in another stream, saying all kinds of unhinged things, and it's just like, ah, man, you are ruining this stream. B, um, just like no one cares. This is like really weird stuff to talk about and so on. Lost Pixel says I refuse to run a Discord because I refuse to bother with policing stuff. That's fair. All right, friends. My battery is dying, my back is dying, and I'm starting to lose my concentration and I'm messing up stuff that I'm going to have to then go back and fix. So clearly I need a break. But today I do not have time to take a break and come back and keep going. I have a bunch of stuff I have to do before, like I said, I have to go to the art collective thing early because I'm picking up a friend at the airport. So yeah. Des says, what? We're not supposed to express our preference for the Empire or Republic or Rebel Alliance? As long as you side with Jar Jar, it doesn't matter. Lost Pixel says, I'm a consummate troublemaker, but I will make it make sense, but in good fun. That says, but Jar Jar is an agent of the Empire. Is he? Or is he running the Empire? Or the rebels? Or is he the main Sith? Darth Jar Jar. Yep, Darth Jar Jar. I love that theory. I wish that had been the truth. That would have been amazing. All right, friends. I am going to have to end it though. Uh, thank you all. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back on Thursday. Thursday will be an evening stream because I know some people can only watch in the evening. Thanks, Lost Pixel. See you Thursday, Des. Have a good one.